It's K Drippy the one. I'm here with another solo reaction, my boy. We are here with a TyBuggy video, and I ain't even gonna lie. Let's cut the yapping and let's get into it. Intimacy feels clingy in this generation. Me personally, I got my girl, and I do feel the clinginess, but it's a part of me that fucks with the clinginess. So I don't know. I could just be different.
I'm afraid that when I find real love, I won't believe it when I see it.
Stop thinking to care about you. I don't care about you, and you don't care about me.
I know I'm sending you mixed signals, but I can't help it. I like you, but I'm afraid of liking you.
Remember growing up having that pretty girl in your classroom? Like every time she came to class, like you kind of got a little bit of butterflies. Or ladies, you may have felt the same way about Jerome. When Jerome came in class, you just felt the butterflies. Or even for the adults, you may watch some of the old school romance movies like Poetic Justice, or one of my favorite movies, Love Jones. One thing that all of these situations and movies have in common is a spark of intimacy. Like that feeling that time doesn't exist because you and that person is just connecting on a deeper level. Whether that's holding hands, conversation over a date, intimacy in the bedroom. Like these are some of the most powerful moments that two people can enjoy together. But nowadays, people feel like they're desensitized to even experience intimacy.
You know, the older I got,
I'm not gonna hold you. One thing I do see, people are low key scared of being like touchy feely in public, as if everybody got hoes. Like I know, like when people were single, they was all on that shit. Like, bro, keep that shit inside. No one wants to see all that shit in public. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes when I'm outside, I don't want to be seeing that shit. But if I'm with my girl and I'm having a good time, I'm not gonna hold you. I'll put my hand over her. I'll be sitting there doing all that shit. Like, I'm not gonna let someone sit here and dictate how I feel.
the more desensitized I got to intimacy, and that's really sad. I remember when I was younger, I was like, man, this girl hugged me. She must really like me. I had to learn later on that girl doesn't like you just because she hugged you. Then it was, oh, she kissed me. She must really like me. I had to learn later on that just because she kissed you doesn't mean she.
Now, stuff like this is why I feel like people are desensitized with relationships. Why I feel like people are scared to get into something real because they scared that every time they feel like their feelings are out there, or every time they think someone is giving them feelings, it turns out that their feelings aren't reciprocated, or that those feelings weren't there in the first place. And I find that shit crazy because I wouldn't say that's something to get desensitized over, but again, I'm different from other people, and I understand that everybody have their own thing. Please put down in the comments if y'all feel something like this, or at least tell me how y'all feel about this.
She like you for real like that. Oh, this girl went on a date with me. I had to learn just because that girl went on a date with you doesn't mean she likes you. It got all the way up till, oh, this girl's having sex with me. She must really like me. And it took for me to have sex with these women to realize just because she's having sex with you don't mean she like or care about you. It even got, which maybe this probably should have happened before the sex, but it got to the point where I would be spending the night laid up, cuddled up with a girl all night, multiple nights, spending the night over at Shorty's house, and we cuddled up, we falling asleep together. She's rubbing my head, and you know I'm cuddling her, and I had to realize just because she's cuddled up with you and you spend the night at her place or she spend the night at yours and y'all are all cuddled up doesn't mean she likes you. And then I look back at all those situations and I'm just like, when did intimacy become so cheap? How am I laid up in your arm and you laid up in mine and you couldn't care less about me? How is it that we're cuddled up right now? And to me, I'm looking at this as building a relationship, but to you, you're looking at it as passing the time. How is my presence really not worth anything to you? How is it that when I look at you, I see a human being, someone with.
One thing, I'm sorry if y'all heard the mic change in the background. My other mic was on, so I put on the charger. But one thing I do see is a lot of people don't know how to handle these feelings, and they don't know how to chase these feelings. So they try to do it the most cheapest way. I see a lot of people, a lot of adults still chasing females like they kids. I still see them doing the same shit they was doing in middle school, elementary school, because they don't know what else to do. They don't know how else to get females. I'm not gonna hold you. When it gets to this point where you sleep with people and you don't know if they fucking with you, you don't know if they the right ones, think about the people you actually with. Think about are they actually worth your time. If you are spending all this time with someone and you still feel empty, don't spend time with those people, especially if you're not the one sitting here searching for that. And if you are the one searching for that, I'm sorry if this is how the outcome has to be for you.
Complex emotions and dreams and goals and all that stuff. But when you look at me, you look at me as entertainment for the time being. It's like it's gotten to the point where I'm afraid that when I find real love, I won't know what it looks like. And, for all my people who don't believe in the Bible, I get it. You might not want to hear this, but the older I got, the more I started to understand why the Bible was like, when you find a partner, you're supposed to stick to that one partner and you're not supposed to switch up on them. Like, it's supposed to be you and them forever. Because intimacy has been cheapened to a degree that is disgusting, honestly. It's hugs, cuddles, kisses mean nothing, and the most intimate act you could do with a person's sex is just a pastime now. I'm afraid that when I find real love, I won't believe it when I see it. I'll just think, oh, this person just, you know what I mean? I've even had this thought. It's gotten to the point where I feel like even on my wedding night, God willing, that we'll have gone through the whole ceremony, got married, and I'll still be there like, yeah, but really though? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it's a shame that I've been scarred this way to where I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I mean?
Wow, so many relatable words that brother had. When I sit back and I look at my single days, I remember a lot of nights or a lot of days of I'm just doing this just for the past time. Like, this doesn't really matter to me for real. And what I learned about that, a lot of that came from two different places. One, unhealed trauma, and two, what the media was pushing to me in these gender wars. On one hand, you got the red pill saying that all women are horrible. Then on the other hand, you got women saying all men are horrible. Both sides creating strong disdains against the other gender, to the point where nobody feels like they can trust the other to truly open up to create real connection. Like, how do you expect romance in a generation when people say stuff like this?
For niggas, as niggas, the best way to keep our relationship, all we can do is shut the up and listen to our girl. That's it. Us niggas, it don't matter how we feel. Fellas, y'all know they don't give a about us. It don't matter, my nigga. As long as we can pay the bills, you feel what I'm saying, and give some from time to time and go on a little few dates, these bitches don't care about us, nigga. Stop thinking bitches care about you. Bitches don't care about you, and they don't care about me. We here for one reason, bro. These bitches don't give a about us, nigga. Y'all think bitches care if we happy? No. Our happiness don't matter, nigga. Don't, as a man, don't ever think we deserve to be happy. We don't. These ladies, I'm telling y'all what these ladies gonna say without saying it. You think these, that's why we gonna cheat on these bitches.
What's my biggest dating red flag?
I am fully against that. Wait. Give me a second, cause one thing I wasn't even fucking here for that shit fully because I was sitting there laying. I shot him and I ain't even gonna hold you, but this shit.
Lady, I'm telling y'all what these ladies gonna say without saying it. You think these, that's why we gonna cheat on these bitches.
Look, I'ma honestly say it like this. The reason why most men are on some shit like they want to cheat on these females and they want to do all this is because they got hurt at a younger age, or they seen the narrative being pushed so much that they ended up following the wave so much, thinking that that was like the only way to get those cool points, that people actually start viewing them the way that they want to be viewed. And to be fair, it's not like that. To be fair, if you really think that you have to cheat on your girl, you have to fucking fuck around and do all this, like, because all these females are pushing this agenda or this, that, and the third, and you can't find the right female. Honestly, like I said, I don't think you looking in the right place. I say the same thing for females. If you on some shit blaming these niggas on some stuff like these niggas ain't shit, I'm tired of niggas cheating. What kind of niggas you looking at? Cause if you looking at a certain type of nigga, no way you always getting the worst ones out of the bunch. Unless you're looking for these YN niggas, you feel me?
What's my biggest dating red flag?
Is it being on the DL?
You're on the right track. I have my answer.
Is it close enough?
You want to guess one more time? What would be a red flag for me?
Bad music taste?
Oh, that is a good one.
Because that's one for me.
That is a good one.
Like,
But that's
what
not
do you
what I
mean
put.
you don't listen to Michael Jackson?
But okay. Okay. This is a huge red flag for me.
All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men. I was gonna say men.
No, like, I mean, strike one. You're a man.
Yeah.
And you're heterosexual.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So technically, because my mind was already there, I don't think I deserve to eat a wing.
As passionate as both of those videos were, neither of those people were speaking from facts. It's purely opinion based. Opinions based off of their failed experiences that they have had and they didn't heal from it, create new understanding.
Like he said, people who are hurt telling you about their past experiences and why they moving the way they moving now. And the reason why it's so popular, the reason why you hearing this so mainstream and everybody fucking with it so much is because you got people who look up to these guys as inspiration, or people who looking at this wave like, again, this is the best way to get cool, best way to get clout, all that shit. And then there's some niggas who just do it for the action. I ain't even gonna lie, there's some niggas who just do it for the do. But I can't speak for them niggas. Like I said, I'm a loyal person. I don't be doing that shit. I'm an innocent person.
About it. So instead, they comfort themselves by saying throw the whole gender away. Everybody thinks like this. And just in case you don't believe me, let's try a little experiment. When you heard that dude talk about how women are, did you say, oh yeah, I'm just like that? Or did you say to yourself, I'm not like that? Like when you heard what Shorty said about men, heterosexual men, did you say, yeah, I agree with her? Or did you say, yo, that's crazy. Like, how you gonna do that to all of us? So now ask yourself, who is the women and who is the men that these people are talking about? They're talking about people that they have experienced through their trauma. The same way you do when you try to refer to the whole gender. You're referring to people that you have experienced through your trauma. So these people are getting on podcasts and getting on mics and speaking through the trauma that they have experienced and now telling the world to see the world the way they see it. That is equivalent to me going to Iraq in 2018, 2019 and then coming back home and telling y'all, yo, make sure y'all look underneath your cars because that's where the enemy likes to plant the bombs. You would look at me like I'm crazy because you knew I was speaking off of a trauma that I experienced. Instead of healing from that trauma and understanding there's nothing to be worried about. This is a different situation. But sometimes it's easier to agree with other people's trauma to comfort yourself and trauma bonding with other people and their stories instead of finding an understanding on why did that even happen to you. But this cycle and this way of thinking is creating a generation of people that is self-sabotaging their way out of good situations. Because while this may be your way of protecting yourself, what happens when God sends you somebody that you don't need to guard yourself from?
Self-sabotage on the talking stage comes in one of three ways. It's crucial you stop making one of these three mistakes so you can finally have the relationship you want. See, if you're self-sabotage number one, you're highly independent, extremely logical, like to keep things surface level, and struggle to be vulnerable. In fact, you usually meet great options, however you nitpick them and find little small things because you have an extremely high standard. And so how you self-sabotage is that because of your extremely high standard, which you've created in order to not have to be vulnerable, because if people don't actually measure up to your standard, you'll never have to truly emotionally connect, You'll never have to actually be vulnerable, and you can continue to keep your independence and freedom. And so you subconsciously create an extremely high standard and begin to nitpick very small things in order to actually disqualify other options from being with you. So it's
Now, there is a way that I could say you can use this in a beneficial act, and I say you can use this for healing. If you try to end up taking your mind off of the person that you are viewing like that, or let's say you're sitting here in that intimate mood where you feel like you're about to cheat, if you take yourself out of this situation and micro analyze the reasons why you shouldn't do this, or why that person isn't like all that, then you will make yourself feel better in the end. Same way how you can end up screwing yourself over time. Just telling yourself that, just lying to yourself, or even telling yourself the truth, just something that you're not wanting to hear, can really change your mindset. And I know a lot of people will sit there and be like, "Yeah, that's bullshit. I want to be a millionaire. I want a million." But you gotta be honest. Are you saying here actually trying for those things and saying it, or are you just saying here and saying that bullshit?
it's almost like you like the idea of a relationship, but not so much being in the relationship. And then you
Like the idea
convince
of getting
yourself
money,
that there's a perfect
but you
partner
don't
out
want to
there,
be sitting
that
here
there's
getting a
someone who's going
job.
to check every single box that you have. And so you pass up on really great options because you've convinced yourself that these small things are actually a really big deal, when in reality they're not. But you're just using these small things as a way to go ahead and box yourself from actually forming meaningful, deep connections with these great options. And to make matters worse, when you actually do give one of these options a chance and you all start dating or are in the talking stage, you start obsessing over one of your previous great options and start phantom Xing. Yes, it's real, look it up. And the reason why you now start obsessing over a previous great option, even though you're with someone else, is because you now convince yourself that this other option was actually the one for you, but in reality, you are just doing this to keep yourself from having to emotionally connect with this person on a deeper level. Check this out for more deeper relationship help in case we never see each other again.
I hope this video makes somebody reflect on this, because when you watch shows like Pop the Balloon and you see people popping the balloon over somebody's shoes, even though the person checks all the other boxes, this is exactly what it is. It is a generation of self-sabotaging adults.
Spin more down over here. All right, let's start with.
I could say, wait, I could say this. Every girl that was in that lineup was beautiful.
Self-sabotaging adults.
Spin more down over here.
Every girl in this lineup is beautiful, but I bet someone will sit here and say the most violent shit just because they want to get views, or just because they don't know if they could see have other people see themselves with this person. I don't
Sure.
know. Like, people just
All
have the
right,
most
let's start with your
weirdest
name.
mindsets. I'm not
My
gonna
name
hold you.
is Finesse. I'm 26.
Finesse, what do you do?
I'm a warehouse supervisor and I own a chocolate covered strawberry restaurant.
Okay. All right. So why'd you end up popping your balloon?
I pop my balloon because you are very fine down to the ankles.
I do what I can.
I just it's a pet peeve of mine when men wear pants that don't cover their ankles.
Okay.
So that was why I popped.
So, because he wore this one outfit to meet this girl, think about it. This nigga has other clothes. This ain't no fucking TV show where this nigga's wearing the same fit every fucking day. This nigga pulled out with some high waters for the one time, and the reason why she don't fuck with him, the reason why she popped the balloon, was because he was wearing high waters. That's crazy.
Got it.
But I think it goes even deeper why people aren't experiencing this level of intimacy that you can see in the 90s movies. I strongly believe that a lot of people are scared to care more than the other person. Because we see so many stories, the person that cares the most usually gets hurt the worst. But instead of pointing the finger like the red pill would do and say they have a problem, let's look within ourselves. That attachment style, it's called a fearful avoidance attachment style. And this is the attachment style that a lot of people have, which is why they are not finding success in dating.
I know I'm sending you mixed signals, but I can't help it. I like you, but I'm afraid of liking you. So I'm gonna self-sabotage this relationship by picking out all of your flaws and ultimately deeming myself unworthy and unlovable of a commitment.
Nothing makes me like a person more than knowing there is no way we could actually be together.
Avoidance, fearful avoidance specifically, the closer they get to someone, the more it triggers their desire to leave, right? I know this personally, it happens to me all the time. When I start to like a girl, I start interrogating her, right? And that can be seen as, oh, it's a contrived test. Don't you realize that you're stressing and pushing them away? A lot of this is not conscious, right? It's a way of coping and self-soothing with feeling unsafe because you like someone more. Yeah, it feels like, you can call it too good to be true, whatever it is, but it's assessing a bet, right? Gauging your investment so you don't get hurt. It's a form of self-protectionism. And the fearful avoidant does that very intensely. The avoidant, they're very self-restrained and self-sufficient. The anxious one doesn't do enough self-protection, any self-regulation, right? They are give, give, give. And that's why those two are generally drawn to each other. But you'll notice the fearful avoidant. Don't be thrown off with when they get close and emotional. Oh, he talked to me all day and now I haven't heard from him. In the early stages, if you were dealing with a man like this, and you don't have to, but let's say it's an understandable recoil period, not 10 weeks or something like that, understand and empathize with what he is feeling, right? He is feeling a vulnerability because he likes you. Now, this isn't to justify men ignoring you and, oh, this should enable all that type of stuff, right? You want to see that he's consistent, at least communicates that he needs some space, etc. But understanding that pattern will help you not lean in anxiously and then push him away further.
Understand how hard it is when your toxic trait is self-isolation plus avoidance, but your love language is physical touch and quality time. This is one of the reasons why people think avoidants are just self-centered and that they're heartless, but they're absolutely not. They're human, and they long for affection and attention just like any other human does. The problem is that there is some type of subconscious belief that they have, and fear is what drives avoidance. Always remember that. Whatever you fear is going to cause you to avoid. This is even for people who are not avoidants. The biggest thing that you'll see for avoidance is that whatever calls for emotional vulnerability or emotional connection is going to trigger their safeguard to avoid and isolate. Isolation is their little bubble. It is the way that they have probably learned how to cope or defend themselves for whatever the perceived threat is or whatever it is that they fear. Whatever perception you have of yourself, you are going to project it on another person unless you address your self-perception and your self-image. Remember, our subconscious mind is pretty much a reservoir that holds all of our beliefs, our memories, our experiences, and things like that. And whatever happens in our subconscious mind, whatever triggers those subconscious beliefs are going to push forward to be conscious thoughts and conscious behaviors. And this is why most avoidant personalities or avoidant attachments sabotage, because it is their natural safeguard. There is something that they have possibly had to learn how to do in their childhood or previous relationship where they couldn't express themselves emotionally. They didn't have the emotional space, or people were not emotionally vulnerable, or people were not emotionally expressive. And so they've had to learn how to deal and how to cope with their feelings in this manner. There's a constant conflict of wanting intimacy and connection, but fearing emotional pain. And this is one of their biggest struggles. And this does make it hard to be in a relationship with an avoidant person because you really never know exactly which way the relationship is going to go. You have moments where they are affectionate and they're intimate, especially when it comes to sexual matters. But then the moment that it calls for like emotional conversations or things that drive emotional connection and things like that, you'll see them start to push back because they're afraid. They're either afraid of being hurt, they're either afraid of being seen as vulnerable. Maybe they think that vulnerability is equivalent or equates to weakness. If you are an avoidant person, you need to figure out exactly what is it that made you create these walls. Probably want to link it back to your formative years or your formative stages, so early on. And if this is you and you're in a relationship right now, you need to figure out exactly what triggers it. Is it when somebody gets close or when someone starts to talk about what do you all, as far as like labels, if someone starts to talk about what your future is going to be and stuff like that, if you feel like it draws you away, or if you feel like it causes you to withdraw, you're running from something. You're running from some type of vulnerability or emotional connection.
See, the first step in bringing intimacy back is not taking advice from people that have not healed from their trauma. Become
I'm not gonna hold you. They speaking 100% facts. It's all true. I'm not gonna hold you when it comes to it. There's a lot of avoiding people out there, and besides sitting here and avoiding them, you can sit there and help them through this. But at the same time, it's no point of helping them if they're not willing to help themselves. You could guide them. You could push them towards the help that they need to end up better than themselves. Because in the long run, they're going to end up needing to do this to get past this avoidant nature to actually confront stuff later on, especially if you really do feel like you're in a relationship in this generation. Like, if you feel like you got a good thing and you don't want to pass it up, don't. There's a lot of, like, I could say, fucked up situations you could be. The dating scene is not what it used to be. So I wouldn't say keep throwing yourself out there because you're not going to keep, like, you're not going to keep finding gold. I'm going to keep telling you that. Like, if you find something, I could say look for it, thrive with it, try to build with it. There's no such thing as a soulmate. You got to actually build that shit up. You got to build your relationship. But that's this video. You feel me? I got the TyBuggy Podcast. I'm gonna put that boy in the description. If y'all wanna see more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for the 750. You know we on the road to 1,000. I see that a lot of y'all niggas are not subscribed. So you know this is the YouTube app, the basic e-begging. Y'all boys subscribe. Y'all please do all that shit. Check out TyBuggy because I ain't even gonna lie. This nigga is one of the main people that makes me love doing these reaction channels. I love like posting people like this, and I do want recommendations down, like more people to check out, so I could like at least broaden the horizon of what's going on this shit. But shit, I guess that's it. We got I shot him in a bit. You want to say something? Yeah. Shit, that be this video. Peace.